Well, this Arctic blast has a lot of people really feeling grateful for having a warm place to stay.
Yeah, but not everybody is so lucky on nights like this. The poor among us seem to get hit the hardest. Andrew Keller continues our team coverage now, telling their story for us live. Drew.
Yeah, Sam, first I want to put this in perspective. About 10 minutes ago, I put this tie in water. I laid it out flat, and now it is hard as a rock, and you can almost jab somebody with it. It's almost like a tie saber. Now, it's hard to imagine that when weather is this cold and it can do this to this tie, people are outside, but it is a reality.
I'd be out in the cold in a snowbank.
Michael Monville knows the realities of trying to combat the bitter cold. He's homeless, and on nights like this, he says it's a matter of life and death.
I'd have to go into a abandoned house to stay warm. I had to go ask for blankets from somewhere because in Michigan you'd freeze to death.
Tonight he's fortunate. He's one of the 150 people with a warm bed to sleep in at Saginaw's City Rescue Mission. Pete Hagel, a Navy veteran, is also staying at the mission, which tonight is at capacity.
I could be dead. You're right, exactly. With the temperatures the way they are, you know, I mean, anybody out to be out left in this kind of temperatures, it'd just be tragic.
We definitely are in a life and death situation, but we're here because people in this community care.
Chris Salmon and his partner Andrew Ringwelski are paramedics with Stat EMS in Genesee County. They say people homeless and without shelter are at the biggest risk when the mercury drops.
When the wind chills get as cold as they are right now, we find a lot of calls for man down and things like that where we have to rush, and they may not be injured per se, but they absolutely are cold and could start experiencing hypothermia.
They prepare for nights like this by packing the right supplies.
We try to ensure that we have more than one blanket, things like that, heat packs, so we can crack those and get them on them right away, try to get their core temperature up.
And now, of course, they say it's also important to keep themselves safe, so they make sure that they dress to the occasion. They dress with extra layers on. And, of course, the tie sabers, they are a reality with how cold it is. And, of course, if you're at home and you have that heating bill, you know how tough it is to make sure that you stay within your budget. Meg McLeod has some advice, to keep your own home warm at a low cost.
Thank you, Drew. We took a trip today to Home Depot to see how you can make sure your home stays toasty on the cheap.
Thank you.
Employees at Home Depot are gearing up to help customers keep the cold out and cash in their pocket. Kevin Brown tells us one of the first ways to do that is identify where the heat loss is with this Ryobi heat sensor, which will run you about $30.
So this door is 69 degrees.
If it's your doors that are drafty, there are several quick fixes. Peel and stick door sweeps.
And that runs about $2.
And peel and stick door jamb foam, which will also run you less than $5. For windows, Brown suggests plastic coverings, which is easy on you and your wallet. About $5 for 3 standard size windows, about 10 minutes per window. For those of you worried about your pipes, Home Depot also has you covered. There's this pipe wrap for $2 per 6 feet. However, if you want to keep the dangerously cold temperatures out, this heat cable pipe wrap combination is your best bet, a minimum of $30 for a few feet. While it might be more expensive than its alternative, Brown says it's worth it.
It's going to be running, so your electrical bill will be a little higher, but it's still cheaper than a pipe bursting.
Home Depot expects pipe wraps to be its biggest seller this weekend.
And if you have some windows and doors that you won't be using at all this season, we've found a really easy way to make sure there's no cold air getting through those drafts. It's called Seal and Peel. Use a caulk gun. It's less than $5. And we put this one on about 6 o'clock tonight, and all you do, you caulk it on, and when that spring weather hits, you can simply peel it right off. So there it is. It's pretty simple, and it's another way to make sure your home stays toasty for not too much money. Reporting live in Saginaw, Meg McLeod, WNEM TV 5.
All right, Meg, thank you. And of course, you could always use Andrew's tie saber if you don't have any caulk. A couple of things you might want to avoid, however, on a night like this, besides, of course, being outside. Do not drink alcohol. Contrary to a popular belief, it's actually bad for you. It dehydrates you, that causes you to waste water, and then it flushes your skin. And don't smoke because it constricts your blood vessels, Also, wearing 2 pairs of socks, not a good thing when it's cold. It actually compresses your feet and cuts off circulation, and that makes your feet colder. And if you're going to wear long johns, make sure they're not cotton. Wool or synthetic fibers are best in this weather.